Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome back to another video. KMU MDCAT जो कि KPK में रिकंडक्ट हुआ था, आज हम उसका फिजिक्स पोर्शन डिस्कस करेंगे. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Okay, so question number 1 is Dash law states that the magnitude of the force between 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. दिस इज़ अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. बुक की स्टेटमेंट पूछी गई है, इसके लिए अगर ऑप्शंस को ना भी पढ़ा जाए तब भी करेक्ट आंसर समझ में आ रहा है. ये कूलम्स लॉ की स्टेटमेंट है, सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज कूलम्स लॉ, दैट इज ऑप्शन सी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अ बॉल थ्रोन वर्टिकली अपवर्ड्स will have constant dash and a varying dash. So we know that when a body is thrown upward, then its initial velocity is 0, but as it rises, the velocity increases. However, the acceleration is kept constant, that is 9.8 meter per second square. So the correct option will be C. So the next question is, a magnet is suspended from a spring and it oscillates in and out of a coil placed vertically below it. A galvanometer is connected to the coil and it shows. तो इस क्वेश्चन में बेसिकली एक मैस स्प्रिंग सिस्टम की बात हो रही है और साथ ही वो मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स के चेंजिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होती है डिस्प्लेसमेंट के और एम्पलीट्यूड हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहता है. ओके, अब कह रहे हैं कि मैग्नेट इज ऑसिलेटिंग इन एंड आउट. जब मैग्नेट इनसाइड द कॉइल ऑसिलेट करेगा तो मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इंक्रीज होगा एंड गैल्वेनोमीटर विल शो अ डिफ्लेक्शन. सिमिलरली जब मैग्नेट आउटसाइड द कॉइल मूव करेगा तब भी डिफ्लेक्शन शो होगी. व्हेन मैग्नेट विल ऑसिलेट इनसाइड द कॉइल देन गैल्वेनोमीटर विल शो द डिफ्लेक्शन टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट बिकॉज मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इज इंक्रीजिंग. व्हेन मैग्नेट विल ऑसिलेट आउट then magnetic flux will decrease, so galvanometer will show deflection in the opposite direction. अब हमने क्वेश्चन को अंडरस्टैंड कर लिया है, सो अब हम ऑप्शंस देखते हैं. सो ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज़ नो डिफ्लेक्शन, बी इज़ डिफ्लेक्शन ऑन वन साइड ओनली, ऑप्शन सी इज़ डिफ्लेक्शन टू द लेफ्ट एंड राइट विद कॉन्स्टेंट एम्पलीट्यूड एंड डी इज़ डिफ्लेक्शन टू द लेफ्ट एंड राइट विद डिक्रीजिंग एम्पलीट्यूड. जैसा कि मैंने आपको स्टार्ट में बताया कि एक मैस स्प्रिंग सिस्टम में एम्पलीट्यूड कॉन्स्टेंट रहता है, तो ऑप्शन नंबर डी तो वैसे ही निगलेक्ट कर देंगे हम. ऑप्शन ए में कह रहे हैं नो डिफ्लेक्शन, तो ये वैसे ही रॉन्ग है. वाई? बिकॉज डिफ्लेक्शन तो होगी क्योंकि मैग्नेट मूव कर रहा है और मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स चेंज हो रहा है. ऑप्शन बी में डिफ्लेक्शन ऑन वन साइड ओनली, ये भी ऑप्शन रॉन्ग है क्योंकि वन साइड पे डिफ्लेक्शन नहीं होगी क्योंकि मैग्नेट मूव कर रहा है इनसाइड एंड आउटसाइड, जिसकी वजह से मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इंक्रीज़ हो रहा है एंड डिक्रीज़ हो रहा है. तो इंक्रीज़ और डिक्रीज़ होने की वजह से मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स कभी इंक्रीज़ होगा, गैल्वेनोमीटर लेफ्ट में डिफ्लेक्शन शो करेगा, और जब मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स डिक्रीज़ होगा तो गैल्वेनोमीटर राइट में डिफ्लेक्शन शो करेगा. सो ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज़ करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज़ अ मैन स्टैंडिंग इन एन एलिवेटर एट द थर्ड फ्लोर ऑफ अ बिल्डिंग. व्हाट इज़ द प्राइमरी फैक्टर दैट डिटरमिन्स द मैन काइनेटिक एनर्जी. काइनेटिक एनर्जी का हमें पता है फॉर्मूला इज़ 1/2 mv², और यहाँ पे v इज़ स्पीड नॉट द वेलोसिटी. बाय बिकॉज काइनेटिक एनर्जी इज़ अ स्केलर क्वांटिटी नॉट अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. ऑप्शंस को रीड कर लेते हैं. ऑप्शन नंबर ए इज़ हिज हाइट अबव द ग्राउंड, बी इज़ हिज मास, सी इज़ एलिवेटर स्पीड, डी इज़ एलिवेटर्स डायरेक्शन ऑफ मूवमेंट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऑप्शन ए को देखें, हिज हाइट अबव द ग्राउंड. ये हमें पता है कि पोटेंशियल एनर्जी हाइट पे डिपेंड कर रही होती है, काइनेटिक एनर्जी हाइट पे डिपेंड नहीं करती. अब ऑप्शन ए को अगर देखें तो एलिवेटर्स डायरेक्शन ऑफ मूवमेंट, काइनेटिक एनर्जी स्केलर क्वांटिटी है तो डायरेक्शन ऑफ मूवमेंट पे ये डिपेंड नहीं करती. अब हमारे पास ऑप्शन नंबर बी एंड ऑप्शन नंबर सी रह गए हैं. ऑप्शन नंबर बी करेक्ट नहीं है. मैन के मास पे काइनेटिक एनर्जी डिपेंड नहीं करेगी बल्कि एलिवेटर की स्पीड पे डिपेंड करेगी. सो ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज़ करेक्ट. Next question is, a resistor has a resistance of 200 ohms. If a current of 0.5 amperes flows through it, then what is the voltage drop across the resistor? अगेन ये भी एक हमारे पास बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. इसका सोल्यूशन काफ़ी सिंपल है लेकिन हम उसको सॉल्व करेंगे तो तभी हमारे पास आंसर आ सकता है. सोल्यूशन हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे, बट द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज़ बी. A three-dimensional image of remarkable quality can be achieved by modern variant of microscope called. This is a simple question copied from book, so its correct option is D, scanning electron microscope. Heading towards the next question, a train travels on a straight track passing signal A at 20 meter per second. It accelerates uniformly at 2 meter per second square and reaches signal B 100 meter further than A. At B, the velocity of the train in meter per second is. Correct option for this question is B, that is 20 meter per second. We will solve this question in the next part of the video. Okay, so a wave is characterized by three physical parameters. Correct option is C because according to wave equation, V is equals to F lambda. So F is frequency and lambda is wavelength. So a wave is characterized by its wavelength, frequency and speed. Next question is accelerating electromagnetic charges radiate electromagnetic waves which propagate at the correct option is speed of light. All electromagnetic waves propagate at the speed of light. Frequency may be variable because we know that gamma rays, UV rays, infrared rays, they are all the electromagnetic waves. They propagate with the speed of light but their frequency is different from one another. The next question is K alpha rays are generated when transition of an electron occurs from जब इलेक्ट्रॉन L shell से K shell में jump करता है, then the rays radiated are known as K alpha rays. So the correct option is C. The decay constant of sodium is 0.0000128 per second. The half-life of sodium is. We will discuss both of these questions in the next part of the video as they are the solution-based questions. Question number 136 is, according to Bohr's model of hydrogen atom, electrons move in specific orbits around the nucleus called. A very simple question. Correct option is B, shells. Next question is, according to first law of thermodynamics, what is the relationship between the change in internal energy of a closed system, the heat added to the system and the work done by the system? Correct option is B. Question number 138 is, angular displacement is measured in. So the correct option is D, all of these. We know that the SI unit of angular displacement is radians, but the non-SI unit is degrees and revolution. So the correct option will be all of these. Question number 139 is, centrifugal force is, formula of centrifugal force is mv square divided by r. So the correct option will be A. Question number 140 is, circular periodic waves can be generated. Correct option is A. Periodic waves can be generated by all of these, but circular periodic waves can only be generated in a ripple tank. Next question is, if a moving object has no force acting on it, then it will continue to move in a straight line with constant velocity, as it is stated by Newton's first law of motion, which is also known as law of inertia or law of equilibrium. Question number 142 is, if the acceleration of a body in one inertial frame is 0, its acceleration in any other inertial frame is. So it will also be 0 because we know that in all inertial frame of references, acceleration is always considered 0. The next question is, if the amount of work W is required to move a charge Q from one point to another, then the potential difference between the 2 points is given by. So we know that the potential difference is equal to work done per unit charge. So correct option is A. Next question is, in a magnetic field, a photon passing through it are deflected towards. We know that photons are chargeless, therefore a chargeless particle is not deflected inside a magnetic field. Correct option will be none of these because it will neither be deflected towards north nor towards the south. Next question is, in special theory of relativity, the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of mass have been replaced with. So according to the Einstein's theory of relativity, E is equals to mc square. So this equation is in accordance with law of conservation of energy as well as with the mass. So correct option will be B, law of conservation of mass and energy. Next question is, in case of Doppler's effect, the apparent frequency will be dash than the actual frequency when the source moves towards the stationary observer. So we know that when the source is moving towards the observer or when the observer is moving towards the source, then the apparent frequency is always greater than the actual frequency. So the correct option will be B, more than. Next question is, magnetic flux is maximum when the angle between the magnetic field and the normal to the plane of the finite area is. Correct option is 0 degree, because we know that when the normal to the plane and magnetic field are parallel to each other, only then magnetic flux will be maximum. And for being parallel, the angle between them must be 0 degree. Next question is, measure of displacement covered with the passage of time is called. So correct option is C, velocity. Here they are talking about displacement per unit time, so we will mark velocity as the correct option. If they are talking about distance, then the correct option will be speed. This is also a very simple question, but sometimes students commit mistakes in such simple questions. So in order to avoid such silly mistakes, please read the question carefully before marking the answer. So the next question is, Newton's third law of motion is correlated with. So it is related with the law of conservation of energy as well as with the law of conservation of momentum and the law of conservation of velocity. So the correct option will be D, that is all of these. Next question is, Ohm's law states that the current is directly proportional to dash and inversely proportional to dash. So according to Ohm's law, V is equals to IR, according to which current is directly proportional to voltage and it's inversely proportional to resistance. Correct option will be D, voltage and resistance. Next question is the ability to produce an electromotive force by changing the magnetic field inside a coil is used to generate. So here they are indirectly talking about Lenz's law. That is actually the law of conservation of energy and states that the loss of mechanical energy is equal to the gain in electrical energy. So correct option will be B, that is electricity. Next question is the absolute potential energy of a spaceship on the surface of the earth is. So it's also a simple question and the correct option is A. Next question is the bird perching on the high power line does not get electric shocks. This is because correct option is A, because when the birds are sitting on the wire, both of their feet are on the same wire. So the net potential difference between both of their feet is 0. The electric charge that enters from one foot leaves through another foot. Therefore, they do not get electric shocks and no net current flows through their body. Question number 164 is the radial acceleration is also considered as. So radial acceleration is basically the centripetal acceleration. We call it radial acceleration because it is directed towards the center of the circular path along the radius. Next question is the resistance of the conducting material depends upon the nature of the conductor, dimensions of the conductor, physical state of the conductor. So the correct option will be D, that is all of these. Resistance depends upon all these factors while resistivity only depends upon the nature of the conductor and not the physical dimensions of the conductor. Next question is the SI unit of capacitance is. A very simple question. Correct option is farads, that is option C. Similarly, the SI unit of electric potential is. Correct option is A, that is volt. Next question is the thermal energy required to cause a unit temperature rise is called. Correct option is A, heat capacity. Next question is the waves in which the particles of the medium vibrate about their mean position along the direction of propagation of the waves are called. Correct option will be the longitudinal waves, option A, because here they are talking about the vibration of the particles along the direction of propagation of wave. However, if they ask us about the vibration of the particles perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave, then the correct option will be transverse waves. Next question is there are two pianos playing the same note. However, the vibration from one piano is 223.20 Hz and that of the other is 223.50 Hz. The beat frequency between the two tones will be. So correct option is A. इसमें हम F2 minus F1 वाला formula लगाएंगे and the correct option will be 0.30 Hz. Next question is Weber is the unit of. So it's a very simple question. Correct option is magnetic flux. Next question is what happens to a football which is inflated in a warm room? It is used to play outside in the cold weather. Correct option will be C. Its size will not be affected by the change in its temperature. Next question is what is the rest mass of a photon? So correct option is 0 because we know that photon is chargeless and the rest mass of photon is also 0. Heading towards the next question, which of the following best describes inertia? Let's read out the options. Option number A is the force of gravity acting on an object. B is the resistance of an object to a change in its state of motion. C is the weight of an object. Option D is the acceleration of an object due to its applied force. So we know that inertia is the intrinsic property of an object and it is the resistance offered by an object to its change in its state of rest or of uniform motion. So the correct option will be B. Next question is which of the following materials have negative temperature coefficient? Semiconductors and insulators have negative temperature coefficient of resistance while conductors have positive temperature coefficient of resistance. However, alloys have zero temperature coefficient of resistance. Let's read out the options. A is germanium and silicon. Both of these are semiconductors. B is germanium and iron. Germanium is a semiconductor but iron is a metal and we know that metals have positive temperature coefficient of resistance. Similarly, in option C, iron is a metal and silicon is a semiconductor. So iron will have temperature coefficient of resistance that is positive. In option D, iron and copper, both of these are metals and they will have positive temperature coefficient of resistance. Option A will be considered correct because germanium and silicon, both of them will have negative temperature coefficient of resistance. Next question and the last question is which of the following quantities is correctly matched to its unit? In option A, electric charge and ampere. So this is wrong because electric charge has the unit that is coulomb. In option B, current and volt. This is also wrong because current has the unit that is ampere. In the next option, electric power and watt. This is correct because electric power is measured in the unit of watts. In option D, resistance and coulomb. This is also wrong because resistance is measured in the units of ohms. So the correct option will be C. So it was all for this video. I hope you liked the video. The solution based questions we are going to solve in our next video. So stay connected with me as I'm going to solve chemistry and bio portion of KMU MDCAT 2023 for you, inshallah, in my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share. I will meet you inshallah in my next video. So till that, Allah Hafiz.